So when you finish your PhD and you start looking for jobs in academia, the problem is that there are far more students graduating with PhDs than there are academic positions available. So it can be very, very difficult to find a job after graduation. The aim, though, should not just be to find a job, but to put yourself in a position where you can get multiple offers and choose the job that best suits you, your interests, and your long-term goals. Now, ideally, this should be part of a longer-term strategy. If you wait until you graduate to start thinking about the next steps, then you could still find a job, but you're likely to have fewer options. So in this video, I'm going to give you 4 tips that you can start implementing long before you start applying for jobs. But if you're near the end of your PhD, some of them could still be helpful. So to get a job in academia, it's not enough to just have a PhD, because everyone else who's competing for the same jobs will have a PhD too. So in addition to the PhD, you need to have skills and expertise that are of value to a potential employer. So it's essential to look at the job market and know what employers are looking for and where the funding lies. And if you do this early enough, then you can even design your projects to help you develop skills and expertise that are in demand. It's also worth noting where the jobs are. So there might be more jobs available that match your skills in some countries than in others. And this might mean that you have to move countries to find work. In my case, this led me to France and then Spain, both of which were hugely positive moves in the long run, but they also led to the end of a long-term relationship. So the job market determines the options and major life decisions that you'll face in the future, and it's better to be aware of these options and potentially difficult decisions early. So if you want to get a good job in academia, you have to get really, really good at what you do. And this means, as a minimum, having a clear, identifiable, and demonstrable set of skills. Better still is to have a rare but valuable combination of skills. And if you want to know more about this point, then I highly recommend Cal Newport's book, So Good They Can't Ignore You, which I'll link to in the description below. In my case, I got very good at scanning probe microscopy, which is quite a common technique in the field I worked in, but I also had skills in instrument development that set me apart from others who just knew how to use the equipment. And this combination of skills was the basis of both of my postdocs. Now, it might not be enough to have a solid set of research skills if people don't know that you have those skills. And this is where networking comes in. If you have a good network and people know what you do, then first of all, you're likely to hear about or be recommended for jobs that suit your skills. And secondly, you can approach people who you know to ask about potential jobs, which is much easier than cold contacting strangers. Now, the best way, I think, to develop a good network is not to try to sell yourself, but just to be interested in other people's work. And this can start locally by being interested in the work of others in your department, and then you can expand from there by contacting people further afield. For example, if you read an amazing paper, you can contact the author and ask a question about it. Now, of course, when you do this, you should take the time to read the paper carefully and think of an intelligent and genuine question. And by genuine, I mean it should be something that you're really interested in. And although I'm talking about networking in the context of improving your own job prospects, that should really be a secondary benefit, secondary long-term benefit of just being interested in other people's work and having the confidence to ask questions. And then much later, when you're looking for jobs, you can reach out to some of these people having had prior contact. And then once you're actually applying for jobs, there's an extra step that you can take to potentially put yourself ahead of the majority of other candidates. So most job adverts will have a correspondence email or phone number. So before you submit a formal application, look up the individuals behind the job advert, check out some of their prior work, and then email or call them with a question about the job. Now, a lot of you will opt for email because maybe you don't want to disturb a busy academic. But if you just email, then your message will likely be lost among the hundreds of others in their inbox. So it takes some confidence to call somebody you don't know. But if you're the one applicant who makes the effort to call and speaks to them before applying, you might just give yourself a slight advantage over other candidates. And of course, you also get to ask the question and be a little bit more informed about the job. So these are just a few thoughts, a few quick tips. If you have any questions or comments, please do leave a comment below. And if you like these videos, check out my website at phd.academy and sign up for email updates so I can let you know when I put out new content. Also, check out my writing course, which I'll link to in the description below. So that's all from me, and I'll see you next time.